Yin Yang Yoga for Commitment by Elise Fabricant, another delicious fusion of Yin Yang Yoga for balancing energy, flexibility, and strength. This one with an emphasis on commitment. Start by focusing your vision on the child's pose, then move on to wake up the body with an active sequence of strong standing and balancing poses. Transition to yin practice with pigeon, frog, and other calming shapes. Enjoy this all-level practice.
Breathe. So just find a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands back into your lap so your shoulders can roll up, back and down. Lengthen through the crown of your head as you drop your tailbone heavy, and then close your eyes. Breathing in and out through the nose now. With each inhalation, feel your belly expand, your rib cage lift, your collarbones open. With each exhalation, keep the buoyancy through your heart as you let out all the air, feeling the belly move back towards the spine. Continue this ebb and flow of the breath, the inhalations being vibrant and strong, the exhalations being soft and surrendering. This is the blend of yin and yang. Keep the breath flowing and join your palms over your heart center. Take one more deep breath in. One more complete breath out, and then release your hands and softly open your eyes. So in yoga, we often talk about setting an intention. For me right now, this is feeling a little too wishy-washy. Yoga is not wishy-washy at all. Instead, it's actually radical transformation. So today, instead of an intention, I'm going to talk to you about commitment, taking a stand for something. You might think of the Olympic athletes who take a stand for their success in their sport. All through their childhood, all through their young adult life, they have one goal. They sacrifice everything else for that committed goal. So, with that in mind, let's start in child's pose. Take your knees wide. Reach your hips way back and down. And let your forehead touch down on something. If it doesn't touch the ground, find a prop for it to reach. Then extend your arms out, palms down to begin. Find even more length in the side waist. Create more of an active child's pose here as you drag your heavy hips back towards your heels and reach through the armpits and the fingertips. Start to recultivate that long, deep breath once again. Sometimes we need to turn inwards first before we are able to determine what we are committed to. So take this time to recollect, to reconnect, and to really determine what it is that you're willing to take a stand for. At the end of your life, what is it that you'd like to leave behind, your legacy? To be remembered for? What impact would you like to have on the world? What are you committed to? When that enters into your mind and heart, press your palms together in Anjali Mudra. The base of the hands will come to the nape of your neck. Dedicate this practice to that which you are committed to. Strengthen it with your next deep inhalation. May it be so with your next complete exhalation. Then release the arms back out front. Spread open your fingers really wide. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Lift up your hips enough so that you can tuck your toes underneath and press your hips all the way up and back for your first downward facing dog. Now you can let this first down dog be a little wishy-washy by bending the knees, shaking out the head, just get your wiggles out. for most of the rest of the practice, I'm going to ask you to find stillness and steadfastness. So take this time to just play. And then step the inside edges of your feet to touch, so your feet are side by side. Imagine you have a rubber band wrapping around your thighs. Start to resist that rubber band and slowly peel your right leg up into the sky. Keep the hips level with one another. Take a deep breath in to reach through the heel. With the exhalation, bend your knee and pull it up towards your nose. You'll need to round your upper body and take your shoulders over your wrists. Pull up and in to start to really enlighten the core, that third chakra, the place of willpower. Then look forward, lightly step the foot between the hands. Ground down through the feet. Hug your inner thighs together so that the upper body can lift, crescent lunge. The more you ground down and commit to your lower body, the more action, more light, more vibrancy the upper body can have. Spin the left foot down now and open up for Warrior Two. Stack your shoulders, lungs, and hips. Turn your determined gaze over your middle right finger and deepen the lunge through the front leg. Good. Flip the front palm, reach forward and up and over for reverse warrior. Continue to commit to the lunge through the front leg. Even though you can't see that knee, keep it bent. Windmill the hands down. Plank pose, strong, determined, committed right here. Drop to your knees. Lower down in one long straight line, so slow, like you're moving through quicksand. Untuck the toes. Inhale for cobra pose. Press down through the hands, swipe them back towards your hips, lift open through the heart, slowly lower down. Downward facing dog. Press back. Step the inside edges of your feet to touch and then find stillness. Imagine you have that band wrapping around your thighs. With the next inhalation, slowly peel. Left leg up. The inner thighs are still hugging towards midline. Exhale, round into a plank pose, almost like a cat through the upper body as you drag the knee up towards the nose and activate your core. Pull the belly up and in, step the foot between the hands. Commit through the lower body, really ground, stamp the feet into the ground, hug the inner thighs in, rise for a strong crescent lunge, Now we'll open to Warrior Two. Pivot the back foot down. Slice open the space with your warrior arms. Remember that which you are committed to fighting for. What is your purpose, your drive? Reverse the warrior, up and over. Hips stay heavy, the heart gets light. One more big breath. Then release. Take both hands down. Step back, plank pose. You can drop to your knees or stay up on the toes, lower down slowly. Untuck the toes for a higher cobra pose this time. Almost straightening through the elbows. Roll your shoulders back and down. Slowly lower down. Press back. Find child's pose, hips to heels. Draw the forehead down for focus. Gather your breath. Then slowly rise. Downward facing dog, one breath of stillness right here. Look forward, step the feet to the hands. With your next inhalation, Ground through the feet, bring your fingertips to your shins and look up, Ardha Uttanasana. With the exhalation, round down. Inhale, flat back, straight legs, rise all the way up. Press the palms together for a baby back bend here. And then draw the hands down to the center of the heart. Let's work on balance, Vrikshasana. Bring your feet together like one deep root. Pour the weight into the left leg and bring the right knee up for tree pose. Interlace your hands below the knee, press the knee into the hands and straighten through the low back. Then place the foot to the inside of the thigh. Option to bring it to the inside of the calf instead and reach the arms up overhead. Ground down to root and then reach higher through the heart, the hands, the head. Palms to the heart. Swing your knee forward first and then place the foot down on purpose like you mean it. Other side. Pour the weight into the right leg, engage all the muscles around the bones. Then pull your left knee up, clasp it with the hands. Lift up through the spine, try not to lean back. And then place the foot to the inside of the thigh or calf. Reach the arms and root down through the foot. Grow taller, grow brighter, shine. Palms to the heart. Swing the left knee forward. Place the left foot down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, slow and smooth, come all the way down. Feel free to bend the knees to keep lower back curve. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look up, lengthen, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the hands. Step the feet back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the feet side by side. Slowly peel the right leg up with the inhalation. Bend the knee and take the knee to the right elbow, so a side crunch here. Inhale, stretch up and back. Exhale, knee to left elbow underneath the body. Pull your belly up and in. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, low lunge. And with the inhalation, rise for crescent. Good. Warrior 3. Place the hands at the heart. Gaze at one point that's not moving. With determination, launch into the front leg. Now, like a teeter-totter, start to pivot forward until the hands can touch down and the leg can reach high. Standing splits. Do the best you can. Take a deep breath in. With the exhalation, Jiva squat. So bend both knees and hover your left knee right behind your right ankle. Left knee, right ankle. Then inhale, shoot back up to standing splits, and exhale, knee to ankle. A couple more times like this. I know, use your strength and determination. Use your breath. You can do it. One more time up. And one more time, slow motion down. This time, go ahead and take a seat. So your right foot will stay in front of your left knee. Try to drop your right hip down so you're not sitting on the ankle. Then bring the right hand behind your back for a twist. Lift up through left arm, hook, and rotate. So you're rotating back, looking over the right shoulder, twisting, rinsing, wringing out any fear, any excuse, anything that's holding you back from your committed self. Let it go with the breath. Then unwind. Downward facing dog. Again, in downward facing dog, bring your feet to touch. Inhale, slowly rise the left leg to the sky, keeping the hips square and even. With the exhalation, draw your knee way up to your left elbow, round through the upper body and squeeze through the side waist. Inhale, up and back again. Slow and smooth, determined and committed, bring the knee across the body to the right elbow. Then swing it up. Take your time as you reach and lengthen last time. Step the foot to low lunge. Set it up. Squeeze the inner thighs together, ground down through the feet, then reach the arms up. Crescent. Palms to the heart for warrior 3. Launch forward onto that left leg. Take your time to hinge at the hips and in one long straight line, teeter-totter the body down. Torso down, leg up, torso down, leg up, until the hands touch down, standing splits. Jiva squat. With your exhalation, bend both knees and hover right knee behind the left heel. Inhale, shoot up and back, really press down through that left foot. Good, exhale, Jiva squat, feel it in the glutes. Exhale, up and back. Just when you think you can't do more, do more. Commit. Bend down deeply. Shoot up and back. One more time, nice and slow. Bend down deeply. You may be shaking like I am, that's fine. Shaking is where the transformation happens. Sit into your twist position. Take your left hand behind your back. Reach tall through the right, hook elbow or hand around the knee, pull that knee in so that you can sit a little taller, and then with that length, start to twist back. Use your breath. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. And then from here, we'll just unwind. Take the legs out, give them a little shake. And let's set up for an active pigeon pose. So we'll start with the left knee forward, the right leg all the way back. Roll over onto the right side a little bit so your hips are equidistant to the floor. And then hug your knees in towards each other diagonally until you feel the buoyancy through the hips. You can keep your left hand on the thigh for now. Bend your right knee, reach back, clasp the big toe side of a foot. If possible, roll all 5 fingers around all 5 toes. Then, either staying here or reaching the left arm, shine through the heart. Release. Let's take a passive yin-like pigeon pose now. So same side. Simply just release the muscular actions of the body and soften your upper body down. It's nice to make a little pillow for your head with your hands. Hopefully you start to feel a deep release through the outer left hip. No pain in the front knee. And then even as you soften into your yin practice, you're still committing to your breath, committing to stillness. That means resisting the urge to fidget, committing to the meditative mind of this practice. If you haven't experienced a yin class with me yet, I'll let you know that I hold poses a little less long than most teachers. So we're here for just enough time to start to influence the deep connective tissue of the body, but not enough time to start to damage any of the joints by hanging out on them, resting too much weight in them. So let's spend about 10 more deep breaths here in this restorative pigeon pose. and then we'll move on. With each breath, stay present, show up fully. Good. About one more deep breath into the place of sensation, and then feel free to open your mouth and exhale it all out. With your next in-breath, come up slowly, press through the hands and arms. Let's switch it out so you can just drag that left knee back. Whoa. A little moaning and groaning is absolutely understandable after these yin poses. We'll take the active pigeon to begin here. So square the hips, right knee forward, left leg straight back. Then hug your knees in diagonally towards each other. Maybe the hands will stay on the ground, that's fine. Maybe the hips will lift so much that the right hand can come to the thigh, and the left hand can reach behind for the foot. Again, hand can be on the big toe side of the foot, or you can spin your 5 fingers over your 5 toes. Lift up, lengthen, squeeze the knees together and reach the arm if possible. And then slowly release into the passive form of pigeon on the other side. Let go. Come to your stillness. Come to your breath. As you enter into this yin part of the practice, try not to let yourself get groggy or lackadaisical, but instead fire up your internal intention and commitment. Strengthen it with each inhalation. Just a few more breaths here. Slowly rise with your next in-breath. Press through the hands and arms. Drag your right knee back. And just for a moment, sit back onto your heels, palms in prayer. Let's take a moment to experience the essence of Bu Mudra. So make first 2 fingers in each hand. Fold the other 2 fingers in with the thumb. And then reach your first 2 fingers with straight elbows out to the ground. Maybe they'll touch, maybe not. Lift up through the heart, close down your eyes. Grounding, centering, committing right here. Good, open the eyes. Release the hands and step your left foot forward into lunge. So in yin practice, we call this dragon pose. You could pad your back knee with a blanket if you'd like. Make sure that you have enough room between your back knee and your front foot so that you can really swing your hips forward. And then just for a moment, inhale, lift through the chest, open your arms, gaze high. Exhale, let yourself drape soft and heavy over that thigh. So the stretch here should be in the right frontal hip flexor, maybe underneath the left thigh. Wherever it is, send your breath there. Let your breath just wash over it. Let your head hang completely. again, we're here for a few long, deep breaths. Even in this challenging pose, find stillness. Commit to your practice, that radical transformation. Final few breaths. Slowly release. Back your hips up. And then you'll just simply switch it out. So take the left knee back, the right foot forward into a long lunge. Swing the hips forward. Inhale, strongly lift the heart, the arms, the head. And with the exhalation, surrender and bow over the right thigh. Let your head dangle heavy. Breathe. If this is hard on your wrists, you can always make fists here in this pose. Find the place that's sustainable for a couple minutes here. And then commit to your stillness. Resist the urge to fidget. Have control over your own body. If this is starting to get difficult, bring back into your mind and your heart that which you are committed to, that which you're willing to take a stand for, to make sacrifices for. Bring it back in. Last few breaths. Soften your jaw. Let the musculature of your face fall. Release any unnecessary tension from your shoulders. Soften into it. And we'll slowly release. Back yourself up. Big hip stretches today. Again, take a moment just to sit back. This time tuck your toes under, stretching the fascia of the feet. Sitting back onto the heels, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift through the chest and chin. Exhale, tuck chest and chin to stretch the back of the neck. One more time like this. Inhale, lift, chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck and round. Good, release. Let's come into frog pose. So we work the front of the thighs, the outside of the hips, and now we'll work the inner thighs. In frog, it's nice to have something slippy, so a sweatshirt or a blanket, towel on a hardwood floor or something that will slide. I like to bring one knee to the slippy thing, the blanket, and one knee to the mat. Then flex the feet like little frog flippers. Flexing the feet will help protect your knees here. Start to let that leg slide out until you find your edge. Now remember, you're going to be here for a couple minutes, so it doesn't have to be your extreme edge. Maybe time will provide that for you. Walk your upper body over until it's centered. Come to your elbows. Then with the feet flexed, make sure that they're right underneath your knees and that your knees are right outside of the hips. So you may need to draw the hips forward or back a couple inches until you find that sweet spot. Release your head and neck and belly and jaw. Notice too what happens to your mind when you're faced with challenge, with uncomfortable situations. Do you try to fix or fade or flee? Discomfort is what creates transformation. And I promise you, in the midst of your commitment, you will come across discomfort, bittersweet, frustration. Use this time to practice sticking with it. Come into your breath, back into your commitment. Nearly there. Just about 10 more deep breaths. Take your last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good job. Now, to release from this very awkward pose, I like to just roll forward onto my hips and belly, and then sort of slither myself back onto the mat. If you know of a more graceful way to do it, feel free. Let's come into Sphinx pose from here. So on your belly, on your mat, if you've had lower back injury, squeeze your legs together firmly. If not, just let the legs be soft and floppy. Then look to make sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Arms are parallel with one another like the number 11. And then once all of that is in place, let your belly soften, your lower rib cage drop towards the earth. Press some muscular energy into your elbows so that the shoulders roll back and down. You don't want them hunching by the ears. Shoulders back and down. Then thread that proud heart through the upper arm bones. Close your eyes. Very, very subtly drop your chin to lengthen right at the base of the skull. As you breathe, feel your third chakra area, that place of willpower, determination, and strength, light up as it presses into the ground. This is just above your belly button area. You can imagine a yellow light here. This is the place of commitment and legacy. If at this point you're in Sphinx pose and you'd like a little extra compression through your low back, you could come into Seal. So Seal is straightening the arms here. Almost like downward facing dog arms, they're at about a 45-degree angle. Press them into the ground, roll your shoulders back, let your belly hang here, and breathe into that compression through the low back. Now, if you're like me and Seal's a little too much, you're welcome to come back into Sphinx. Remember to find that edge, the place of juicy transformation, but the place that you can also stay calm and focused and centered. Last few breaths. Stay with it. Send that deep breath in. Release that deep breath out. One more time. And then slowly lower down. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands for a moment. Turn your toes in and let your heels flop out. This will broaden through the low back. You could also shake your tail a little bit. Our final pose will be just where we started today, child's pose. This time you have a choice, knees wide or together. Bring the hips back, enjoying that neutrality through the low back now. Let your forehead, the Ajna chakra, the place of intuition and intention, press down on something, the floor or a block or a book. And then once again, join your palms together. Anjali Mudra, press your palms together. The base of the palms comes to the nape of the neck. Find your strength, your softness, your determination, willpower, and commitment. It's always with you. You can access it at any time. Last few breaths here in child's pose. Let yourself melt and surrender. And now slowly transition into Shavasana. Release your hands. Use them to press into the earth, to come up. Turn around. Now you've got your blanket or sweatshirt or whatever it is there. Maybe you'd like to roll it up to place underneath your knees. Do whatever you need to get really, really comfortable here. If you're cold at all, cover up. And then lay back down. Softly tuck your shoulders underneath, turn the palms up. Get out any little last bit of wiggles so that you can find stillness here. Relax to receive the benefits of the asana practice. Please stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for spending this time turning inward, developing your commitment. It's always an honor to guide your class on Yoga Download. Again, my name is Elise Fabricant. Namaste.